shall we slay? This squad comes in on have on this rusty shooter tonight. The line of yeah, man, is Jim.
It's a back pass with Ross on the mic. Talking for these stories, keeping vibes real tight. Legends and laughter, you know the drill. Back pass with Ryan, football, better and chill. From SG to the region, we cover the game. Big names, small clubs, the passion's the same. Stories from the pitch and the ones untold. Back pass with Ryan, where the beautiful game unfolds.
Welcome to Back Pass with Ras, bringing to you a brand new episode. And on this episode, we've got someone who has played in his home country of the former Yugoslavia. He's played in the Maldives. And most notably for our listeners and viewers in this part of the world, he's played in Singapore for Tampines Rovers. It's none other than Mr. Sead Muratović. How are you doing, Sead?
Yeah, hi. I'm fine,
Yeah, very nice to see you. And he's actually all the way back in his hometown now in Serbia. Where exactly in Serbia are you?
I'm now at the Novi Pazar.
Novi Pazar. Okay, that's where you were born as well?
No, I'm born, it's in Belgrade, in the capital of the last time Yugoslavia, and after separate, now is Serbia, but is still the capital.
Okay, let's get back to your time in Singapore first, in the S.League. First of all, how did the move to Tampines Rovers come about, and why do you agree to join them?
Okay, actually, in that time, I was under 19, under 18, under 17, under 15, is a national player, of Serbia, of Yugoslavia, and after that, Serbia and Montenegro. And actually, is my town, is that time, I was on loan from the Red Star, and Sead saw me, then he asked me, did I want to join, the Singapore, the Tampines Rovers. And that time, I was actually a bit worried, because I don't know much, about the Singapore in that time, is not so familiar, is not so popular like now. And I say, okay, let me think, And after that, when I was a bit reading, and ask some people, about the Singapore and how's good, how safe country and everything, how the starting football, they want to put, in some next level, then I agree, to come.
Okay. So you agreed to join Tampines Rovers after considering all those facts. So when you first landed in Singapore, what was your experience like? Because now the settling in part, first you found out about Singapore. Now, when you come into Singapore, the language, the culture, the food, the weather, how was all that?
Okay, first of all, when I just arrived, the first my experience, is too hot. Is too hot, especially, is at that time is winter time. I think is April, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember, is I wearing, some sweater and some jacket, and this one is too hot, and when I coming outside from the airport, this one is hot air, bring me, pushing my face, I was thinking, I going, to the hospital, after that, but it's okay. After that, actually, I learn English in a school, then I not have, the language problem, and I can communicate, actually, I cannot, do a deep conversation, because I need some practice, and all this. But after that, is going to be easy, to adapt, to the culture, to the what I call it, to the language and all this. About the food, I not have any problem actually. Of course, like most of the European people and the people who just join, the Asia. The first of all, everybody like it. Is chicken rice. This one is. I think is the first food. Who everybody trying. Who come in Asia. Yeah. And after that, I can eat spicy. I can eat, everything. It's okay. It's no problem.
Okay. Any particular food that you really enjoyed while in Singapore?
Okay, actually like I can eat everything. And I think a lot of things. I have a lot of friends. When we finish training, we mix around, going out. Sometime a Chinese food, sometime Malay, sometime Indian food. I really not have any problem. Like curry, naan, chicken butter. The naan and what I call it. The fried rice, whatever. I really not have any problem. I can eat everything.
Okay, so and also when you arrive, do you get any help from other Serbians, Croatians, or Yugoslavs that were there already playing in the league?
Yeah, sure. It's because Sead Muratović, is the boss of Sahara. Is now.
Yeah.
He bring me, to Singapore. He invited me to come, and I was very lucky. At that time, in a Tampines Rovers have a few players. Is actually 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. Is coming, from Croatia and Serbia. Is ex-Yugoslavia. His coach was also, for Serbia. And in this moment, is for the adapting, is to the life, to the team, and to the culture. They helped me a lot, especially Marko Kraljević, who was legend. He and Sead, helped me a lot. Of course,
And you were staying in were you staying in a HDB flat or like a?
No, we are staying. Is at CME. We're staying at the Melville Park condo.
All right. Okay.
Then I sharing apartment. With some others. Some other players. Who also is a part of Tampines Rovers.
Okay. All right. And also on the culture as well, Serbia, I'm sure, will have a different culture to how things work in Singapore. Do you notice? I mean, at that point in time, I know Singapore wasn't as fast-paced as it is today, but still, do you notice any difference in the culture and the way things are done in Singapore?
Okay, is actually Singapore, is one of the best country, is in the world. One of the safe country in the world, and a lot of things, is it new for me, is like coming, coming to the Singapore, is a new culture, is a people, is differently, is the first time, is actually, when I was very young, is before 18th birthday, I already moved, from the house, then I going, to playing overseas. But overseas, means, I'm still in the Serbia, but some other towns, and this one is the first time. My first time, is to going overseas to playing, because actually that time I was young, is only 20 years, is when I come, is just reached 21.
Wow, that's very young when you came to Singapore. 21. And let's talk of on the pitch now. You joined in the year 2000. So talk to us. You spent 7 years in Tampines Rovers.
Close to 9 years.
9 years.
2009, as I left,
Okay. So you spent
actually
9 years in...
Yeah, 2000, as I came, I came to Singapore, that time was chairman, Kwai Kim Song, and legend of Singapore football, And that time, is actually we have, is a very good team. Is that time, is can play 4 foreign player plus 2 PR. That time is a PR is Sead Muratović and Marko Kraljević. And we have 4 foreign players, and we are really, is on the paper, is we are really good good team, But sometimes, we need luck, and all this, but end of the day, it doesn't have, actually, is a good result, is how everybody predict, before the starting season.
Okay. And what were some of the highs you had in Tampines Rovers?
Sorry?
What are some of your highs that you had in Tampines Rovers? So in terms of achievements, the good times that you have with Tampines Rovers on the pitch.
Yeah, of course. Tampines is my second home. This one is after Kim Song. Is after just couple of, if I'm not mistaken, after 4 or 5 games. Is quite Kim Song. Is a move. Is from the chairman Che. Then coming, is a Mr. Teo Hok Sang, and I really have, this is my godfather, is everybody talking, and I really appreciate, to meet this kind of person, and he helped me a lot, he helped me a lot, like he helping everybody, this is a really person, which one is, I think, is a one in a million,
So in your time in Tampines, you won the S.League twice, 2004, 2005. You won the Singapore
back to back.
Singapore Cup 2000, 2002, 2004, and 2006.
Yes.
Yes, right. So which ones of
Actually,
continue.
Actually, is like what we say, is the Tampines before every season, is on the paper, is one of the top 3 teams, is who was predicted, is who going to win, is either league or cup or whatever, but is a team who making, who supposed to, win, everything, and we have, actually, we have some players, who need to adapt. Then after that, some coaches, who coming, maybe they didn't adapt, too fast, to the team and to. Actually, every time we playing good, but results sometimes, doesn't come, this one is a problem, And end of the day, when Voravan coming, is the coach from Thailand, then after that, we continue, and I think, we make, a really good result, Of course, every time, it can be better, but I think is a really good result, for this period, when I was there.
Okay. Any particular trophy that you won that you felt was more special to you? Or any one of these Singapore Cups?
Okay, of course, actually, 2006, when we won the Singapore Cup. I think it's a quarterfinal, we playing against Tanjung Pagar, and during this period, I was actually for 10 years, let's say it's 10 years, 9 years, how long, I was playing. I never missed the penalty there.
Okay.
In the league, and during the season, every season, is a 4, 5, 6, maybe more, is a penalty, and every time, I have a score. And that time we playing against Tanjung Pagar, I remember, then we, I think it's 2004, 2006, if I'm not mistaken, I cannot remember, now. But I think we're losing, is a 3-0, is a 80 of minutes, and penalty for us, then I miss.
Oh.
And after that, is then we go, is to 85th minute, is a 3-1, 90 minute, 3-2, then injury time, is 3-3. Then after that, it's extra time and penalty. And again, I take the penalty. But that time, I score. Then is this one. And of course, as I was choosing, is a personal trophy. As I was choosing, is a People Choice of the Year. Then this one winning by the fans was voting. Is that this one is I'm very happy. With that.
Which year do you win that trophy? Was it 2006 as well? The personal trophy?
Which one? The
People's Choice Player of the Year.
People's Choice. No, this one is a 2002.
Oh,
2002.
all right. Okay. Any particular moment that you felt low when you were at Tampines, or you feel like we should have won this league or this trophy this season, but we missed out?
Okay, but every time we not win the league or any trophy, is when we finish the season without the trophy, is I feel is a little bit sad. Because I know we're pushing too hard, we give 200%, is all the players, and of course, that's why we are playing football, that's why we are on the field, and this is some. When we lost the game, I just feel, I feel sorry, actually, for our boss, for Theo Hokseng, because he gave us, everything, and this is the only way, how we can return to him, and this is the win the game, win the league, and all this trophy.
Okay, I understand. In terms of teammates as well, you played centre back, am I right?
Yes.
So, who were some of the best partners you had in centre back?
Okay, during my period, when I was there, I have a lot of players, playing together, with me, and I mean, I cannot say, this one is a good, this one is a not, all the players, who play around, we play together, they are really, they have their quality, and that's why, they are, that time, the national team and everything, like, I will just mention, Sead Farouk and, what I call it, Nasri Nasir, I have, around me, is Chokotave Paramount Chok, is the what I call the Thai national player, and a lot of players, is actually, we are a good team, is every year, is maybe it doesn't sound like that now, but because we doesn't win, is every year, but it's a really, is an excellent team and excellent guys, who was around me and helping me a lot, I'm talking about the local guys, who they help me, is a lot, is about everything,
Actually, on that topic of local guys also, I don't think when you joined the league, you knew much about the local players that you were playing with. Anyone that really surprised you with their quality? Anyone that stands out like that?
Okay, is that time, have so many players, actually, is the Asian players, is and that time, they are very talented, is I have to be honest, is they have good skill, but the players, is who impressed me, is that time, is when I play. Actually, is when I just came, the Siva Kuma, is playing with us, is the left winger, is the left back, is this one is amazing, is how this guy, is can go in, can running, is up and down, is this one. I was surprised. I say, hey, my man, this guy, is can play, high level, is I was thinking, is at that time, really. And of course, is Nasri, Rafi Ali, and Noah Alam Shah after that when he joined us, and of course Tankim Lee, is a Steven Tan, this is all my ex teammates, is and I really, is I'm happy, is I share, the changing room and the field, together with them, is.
Okay. In terms of opponents now, like which were some of the strongest opponents you face?
Okay, the 2000 when I just arrived, is have so many so many foreign players, who playing, at a high level, because that time, you cannot allow, is not possible to sign for Singapore if you're playing, for the third or fourth division or whatever, because you can sign only if you're playing, the top level. Doesn't matter is which country, or the second, rating, is a yes. And he have a lot of players, but of course, is one of the toughest opponents, is Egmert Gonzalez and Mirko Grabovac, is definitely, these two players, these two legends, they are really amazing,
They give you a hard time on the pitch?
Yeah, they are. They are. Have to be honest, they are what they call it, they are really, really good players, and sportsmen and everything,
And in terms of any battles that with other strikers that you remember that you had on the pitch? Anyone in particular in the S.League?
I cannot now remember, honestly, not really. Not at all.
And the fans that you met in Tampines, I think, how are the fans towards you?
Okay, actually, when I came, to Singapore, that time, the fans, they are very happy, the first of all, when I came, and everybody know about me, everything. This one means, my career, when I playing, actually I grow up and I playing, all the youth selection, for the Red Star Belgrade. This one is the biggest club here, and I was captain. Yeah. I used to play for the national team, the youth. I have, more than 70 games, and I was captain. And I think they are happy, they see me on the field, and they are very friendly, and I not have any problem. I have very good connection, with them, and I think, they're enjoying, to watching, the way how we play, and I think, they enjoy, watch me, that time how I play.
Okay. I want to talk about stadiums, but I know you've been to some really intimidating grounds in the former Yugoslavia. So we cannot compare with what you have in Yugoslavia, but in the Singapore context, in terms of stadiums, which were the toughest stadiums you had to go to?
You know what is the difference? Difference is the difference between the stadium and the fields. Is in my country, in Singapore, is because of in Singapore, especially that time, is a Choa Chu Kang and Bishan. They have a lot of sand.
Okay.
And this one is amazing. It's like you're going, like this one is you're going to the seaside. And this one is a bit difficult. Is for me. To of course, it's the first game. When we play, I remember, my leg, is going, is down, like, I say, what is this, then during the game, and of course, the next years, later on, I adapt, and.
Okay, so Choa Chu Kang and Bishan were at the start were a bit difficult
that
for
time.
you.
Yeah.
And in terms of atmosphere, which were some of the noisiest fans, the most intimidating fans you had to face against?
No, I nobody compare, is to Tampines. Tampines, is the best, we have supporter, doesn't matter, we are on bottom of the table, we are top on the table, we have, the people, the loyalty, they are very, very friendly, very supportive, and they are really, really, really the best.
All right. Okay. So that's big compliments to the fans of Tampines Rovers.
I mean, of course, I cannot say, the other fans, is not good, they're supporting their team, actually, it doesn't have, any kind of problems, to I mean, is when you're coming, to watch game, you're supporting one team. Is definitely, and you're making as much as possible. But on the field, you can bring these people. Is also like you. Wow, how is playing good? Is a good result and everything.
And the time for you to leave Tampines, why do you decide to leave Tampines? Do you have, at that point when you were about to leave Tampines, did you have offers from other S.League clubs or other teams in Southeast Asia?
No, what's the problem? Is when I was when I leaving Singapore at Tampines, I was injured.
Okay.
Actually, that time, is we have beep test. Is a famous beep test. Is which one is supposed to run. Is before the season and everything. And the last season, even I supposed to run. Is you need to pass. Is the beep test. Then you get is a license. Is you can be registered. Is to playing. And I was injured, and I pulled my cup, and that time, I cannot run, I cannot pass, and after that, I just going back, to my country, friendly, talk, with the boss, and I say, better, somebody coming who can play, because, we cannot bring, so many foreigner, and teams start to, to be shaky because is a lack of foreigner, and you need somebody who come. Then I just left.
Okay, understand. No one from Southeast Asia, like maybe from Malaysia or Indonesia or Thailand, offered you a contract?
Actually not. But again, that time is only sudden players, is going, from Singapore overseas at some other country. Is totally different from now. Now is Singapore football, is put one step up, is not one, is a couple of steps, is up, is then now is quality of the local players, is and the national team, is more than the last time. Then of course, is in the national team, is in the better position, and everybody, want to take, is the players.
Okay, that's interesting, because in Singapore, I think a lot of people say that the players Singapore had in those days when you were playing were much better than what there is today. Even the quality of the S.League is better then than now. That's what
yes, it is. But end of the day, everybody looking, is everybody looking, is at what they call it, the national team, and they, is talking about this league. Maybe they say, but now now have so many players, who playing, is overseas, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken, the last time doesn't have. The last time doesn't have, is maybe these players, I'm sure, is Zul and Sasi Kuma and Siva, Nazri, Rafi. This is all players, who can play, any country, is in Southeast Asia,
Okay.
But maybe no luck, is maybe the time, is the people, is marketing or whatever, is I don't know, is that they're not interesting about the Singapore players or whatever, is I don't know, I don't know what is the reason, is.
Okay.
But definitely, is the league, because now I following league, is I still watching, is every game, is having, sure, I think, is I agree, is with you. I agree with the people, is the last time, is a better league, is definitely. But I just, is mentioned now is a national team, is they're going, is to the final competition, correct, is of the
Asian Cup.
Asian Cup, this is the first time, is then this one is really, good result.
So after your time in Singapore, you had a spell in the Maldives. We know the Maldives to be a beautiful country. What was it like?
No, actually, this one is a mistake. I never been there,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just putting, is on the Wikipedia or whatever, is they just writing there. Actually, I got some offers, is I don't know, some people, is asking, but later on, is when I come back here, but is a just talk, is nothing much, is
Nothing. Oh,
not
okay. So
that, yeah,
that
yeah.
didn't happen at all. You didn't go and play in the
No,
country.
no, doesn't happen.
Okay, let's go back then to the time in Yugoslavia.
Okay.
How was it? How was life in Yugoslavia when you were growing up?
Actually, I grow up, is in the very difficult time. In the very difficult time, is uh, uh, the people born, is in when I was born, is that time, is when I was 11 years old, is the country is a separate, starting war, and all border was closed. Is we can't going out. Is we cannot going overseas. And I start playing football because I was born at and I was living at Belgrade. I started playing, is in the Red Star Belgrade, and all what we can do, is we playing, is only inside the country. Actually, in Europe, is in the youth selection and all this, is they joining, is so many tournament, is in Europe, is they going overseas, and playing. And that time we cannot going, why? Because it's a border closed, is you need a special visa or whatever, and we really hard time, is that time is a war and a lot of things, is happening, is but end of the day, is like all kids, is we have, is I'm happy, is with my with these years, is when I was young, is because doesn't think too much, is about the serious problems, is and all this.
And growing up in the war as well, now as we speak, of course, we know about the US and Iran in a war, and before that, we've had Israel and Palestine as well. How was it like for you when you were growing up in the war? Was it a very like scary time? Like you do not know what's going to happen?
Actually, that time, is I was kid, as I was young. I don't know much, is about all this, is in my house, is at that time, my parents, is trying, is to protect us, is to do not watching, is in the news, is on the TV, is trying, is to switch the channels, is to not be, because we are young, is actually what we know about that, is and but I can see around, is a problem, is that then because you going on the street, is the people talking about this, about that, is a lot of things, is. And after that, is we have, is a 1999, we have bombing, is at that time, is I was quite old, is I'm older, is that, and I know that, is that this one is really scary, they putting bomb, is in our country and all this, is but it's okay, is that this one is a pass. I hope, is I hope this one will never happen again, is I hope, is the war stop, is everywhere in the world, is I just pray for the peace, all over the world, is.
Yeah, same here as well. Do you remember the day you made your senior professional debut? That means for the senior team.
No, what when I was at the Red Star, is when I was 16 years old, is I started playing, is the friendly game, with the first team, is
Wow.
the senior team. Yes, I mean for some friendly game, is and all this, and this one is very exciting. This is my dream, is to wearing, is the yes, the Red Star jersey and go on in front of the crowd, is and to be, is just to hear the noise, is because the fans of Red Star, is one of the best in the world, is definitely, is
Maracana.
Yeah, Maracana, yeah, popular Maracana, like a Brazilian, is
Brazil, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, continue.
yeah, and my professional debut is on Novi Pazar, is Novi Pazar 1997 when I was 18. This one is a cup game or league game. I cannot remember, this one is
Okay. All right. And playing for Red Star Belgrade is one of the biggest clubs in Serbia, former European champions as well. Any famous players you played with or against in that time?
okay, is in the period, is when I was playing, this one is a very good generation, is I used to, in my generation, youth selection of the Red Star, is playing, is players like Nikola Lazetic. He used to play Fenerbahce, Lazio. Used to play Dejan Stanković, who used to play
Dejan Stanković.
Inter Milan and Lazio, yeah. And some other players, who was very, very famous, is in Serbia, and they make, is a very good career, of course,
Now Dejan Stanković is the manager of Star Belgrade.
Yes, one of my very close friend. Yes, he come back. It's like we are kids. We're playing together. It's 7, 8 years. It's together we're playing. We are very close friends. And all this. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Remember Dejan Stanković playing for Inter
when he scored the goal from the halfway.
Yeah, against Schalke.
Yes, yes.
I'm an Inter fan, so I remember that.
Okay, good.
Okay, so besides that, of course, playing in Serbia, then you've basically played most of your career in Serbia and then in Singapore.
Yes, this is the two countries I play. Yes.
Only. Now, what are you doing today?
Now I'm coaching under 19 team in Novi Pazar. We are playing the Super League in Serbia, and we're doing good. We have some good players. And the target is to making the players who can play. Is a very fast the first team to make the senior debut, and I think this one is a very good potential. Is a very good team. Is that they coming very fast. Is that they will. I think is the people will come. And heard is about that.
Yeah. So the idea is to develop the players, get into the first team, and then sell them on to other European clubs.
Exactly.
So since you retired from playing football, you've been coaching. That's all you've been doing?
Yes, I do coaching. This is, I'm all my life, in football. I can't do, I don't know how to do anything else. Because I start playing. When I was 7 years old. Now I have 47. Means 40 years. I'm in the football, and only I can do is football.
You're 47 years old.
Yeah, I'm born 1979.
Okay. You had a time coaching in the S.League as well for Ballistic Khalsa.
Yes, I did. That time, the Theo Hokseng was in charge of Balestia, some sponsor, then he invited me, to be there to trying, to improve the defenders or whatever, then I was assisting, Marco first, but after that Marco went to Kelantan, if I'm not mistaken. He went to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Then Kadir was coach, and I'm assisting him, and this one was 2018, something like that. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And what was that season like? You spent just one season at Balestier, right?
Yes, I spent only one season, then I go back, after that is COVID and stop league and all this, is a problem around the world, and
Yeah. What was that season with Balestier like? Was it a good season or your first
okay,
also your first experience in the S.League after you left Tampines Rovers as well, right? You
yeah,
noticed the difference in the level of football?
uh, is when you're coming back after I come back, is after 8, 9 years, is to Singapore.
Mm.
Uh, the stadium is the same. The ground, pitches, is all the same, is okay. National Stadium is a make, is okay. This one is a different, but other than that, is almost the same, is not much difference, is this one. And the league, I think, the last time, is here more quality, is foreign players, and the foreign players, when you're coming, is overseas and you're playing like a foreign players, you have to be a really good player. Why? Because you're coming overseas and you come, to make the difference. And that's the problem, is when you have good player around you, and you're going to be better player also. It's very simple.
Yeah, true. So, what is it? You're now involved in modern football. What's your opinion on how modern football is going?
Okay, they did a lot of change now.
Yeah.
Like VAR system, is they're going to allow the goal. This one, actually, is in the one way is a good, another way is a not good. Why is not good? Because the crowd already cheering, is they already happy, then after that, is for the 1 centimeter, is they saying, is offside or whatever, is maybe finger, is on the offside, they saying offside, is and everybody, wow. And this one is a very difficult, for the team, is to putting up, is again, because already, is they already, is they're happy and everything. And after that, you tell them, no, it's still 0-0, is, oh my God, is then again, is you have to motivate yourself, is and everything, is
Yeah.
another things, is okay, is they're trying now to, what I call it, they're trying now to make it a bit faster football, is how, is the goalkeeper, is only way can use, is 8 seconds, is to keep the ball, is whatever, is this okay, is this one I agree, is but I don't know, is I think, is I don't know, I think the last time is more exciting, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, correct. Do you think if you're a player today, do you think you would survive in today's football?
But I mean, okay, of course, is you like you personally, is like you like what I say, is you have to if you want to survive, you have to follow the rules. It's very simple, is like you coming, is like I coming, is in Singapore, is I have to follow the rules, is which one is in Singapore, is I cannot make my own rules, is it's very simple, is this one is
Correct.
yeah.
And which football club do you support? Are you a Red Star Belgrade supporter, or do you have any other clubs that you support?
I support, of course, is Novi Pazar, is the team, is which one I wearing, I coaching now, is I wearing this jersey as well. Of course, Red Star, is the team, the my first team. And overseas, the European team, is actually I like to watch, is I like to watch the football, is I like to I not have especially, is one team, is I support this team, is from Europe, is like, is maybe, you know, it's okay. Let's say, you know, maybe it's Real Madrid, you know, I like Real Madrid. I love, you know, Inter Milan also, you know, of course, you know, I saying why, because Dejan Stankovic was that time, you know, playing my good friend, you know, because of him, you know, actually, you know, I like, you know.
Okay, and when you were growing up, any player that you idolized, like, was your favorite player?
Okay, that time, you know, I was playing. Okay, you know, when I was young, I like Faustino Asprilla. It's a bit funny because he's striker, you know. I'm defender, you know. But I like his celebration after the goals, you know.
Okay.
He,
Yeah,
he,
I
he
remember.
did somersault, you know. And
Yeah.
this one I do as well, you know. In Singapore, you know, when I scored the goal, I did the somersault, you know.
Okay.
But the players, you know, who playing in my position, you know, of course, you know, is a Cannavaro, you know, is at that time, especially because he's not too high, you know, we are similar, you know,
Yeah.
high, you know, and that's why, you know,
Okay. Navarro. So now we get to questions from our listeners. So the first question we got is from Rohaizat Talib. What does he think about beep tests? So that's your first question.
yeah, when the people talk about whip test, you know, they remember me, you know, because I failed so many times, you know, but it's okay, you know, like what I say just now, rules is a rules, you know, so you have to follow.
Yeah.
And this is that time is Singapore FAS, you know, is rules, you know, is you have to pass the PIP test, then you can play the games, the competition. And I got this problem, you know, actually, you know, actually I'm very fit, you know, and when I was young, you know, and all this, but sometimes, you know, in your head, you know, you cannot, you know, you cannot, like, cannot quick, you know, yeah, is a problem, you know, then I fail, you know, a couple of times, you know, but end of the day, you know, I pass. Of course, you know, next to me, you know, Alam Shah fail, Mirko Grabovac fail. I mean, this one is all good players, you know, I mean, I didn't say, you know, you don't need to run, you know, and all this, but from my opinions, you know, I don't think so is a reason, you know, is not allowed, you know, is to good player, you know, is to be on the field because the fans, you know, is want to watch a good player. And I think, you know, is a big test I don't know.
Okay. He went on also to say that he's one of the best and solid centre back in the history of S.League.
Thank you.
Legend has it that he ever marked a prime Michael Owen out of the game. So we got another question on Michael Owen, and that's coming from the next listener. Satria Mera has said, how does it feel getting head-butted by Michael Owen during the 1997 European Under-19 Championships?
Yeah. Yeah, that time, you know, as I was Michael Owen just started playing, you know, for Liverpool, you know. And he was, I think, one of the youngest player who just did debut, you know, is playing, you know, is for the Liverpool that time.
Yeah.
And we playing, you know, is qualifying, you know, is for the European Championship. The first game is Rotterdam. Then we went there, you know, and this one is excellent team, you know, if I'm not mistaken, Smith was playing, Wes Brown, Jonathan Woodgate, Michael Owen, you know, there's a lot of good players, you know. And that time, okay, coach tell me, you know, at night, you know, he say, yeah, Muki, you know, you're going to mark, you know, Michael Owen, you know, but I know, you know, I watch him on the TV, you know, before that, you know, honestly, and I know he's very fast.
Yeah.
But during the game, you know, I just what I call it, you know, I mark him, you know, really very well, you know, then after 20 minutes, you know, he just irritated because he didn't touch the ball. Then he just, you know, push me, you know, and heading, you know, then I just fell down. Then he get the red card, I get the yellow card, you know, and that's it, you know.
Okay, that's some story, man.
Yeah.
Michael Owen. And it actually is also Michael Owen's only red card in his career.
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yeah, that's what I read as well. It was his only red card, so it's amazing that he got it against you.
After that, this one is a 1997. 1998, he took the ball, from the halfway line, then he scored against Argentina,
Yeah, yeah,
he beat the whole team, then,
yeah.
yeah, maybe Argentina, it took me that time to mark him.
Okay, the next question from Satria Mera is, unlike Mustafic Farudin, why didn't you choose to represent Singapore even though you played 7 years for Tampines Rovers?
Yeah, Mustafic Fagrudin, is one of the players, is which one I bring, is to Singapore, and to help them, is to stay there, is of course, is their quality and their and all this. But I don't know, is actually I didn't have, is offer, is to be in the national team, is of course, is I will took, is if they ask me, is definitely, but I doesn't have, is any offer.
Okay. The next one could be a bit cheeky, a bit of a cheeky question from Jeff J. Fong. Which hair shampoo brand he uses?
No, I didn't use shampoo. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that would be
This
it.
one, this one is my wife in charge. She choosing. Is for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the last question I have is from your former teammate, R. Sasikumar, played with you at Tampines Rovers,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this one is a bit controversial. It's going to be, this is what he says. Does he even train? This was the most overweight, overhyped player of all time. Because of him, they introduced bib test in the S.League.
Okay. Big regards, is to Sasi, is my ex teammates, is okay, is they actually again, as I say, is I'm really fit, is but I only have, is a problem, is in my head, is then I can't pass, is I putting pressure in my head, is and all this, is
Okay.
yeah.
Now I see this theme about the bib test. Do you get a lot of jokes about it from your teammates? Do they joke a lot about this with you?
Actually, they help me a lot, as I have to be honest, as they help me a lot, as they coming, for we're running at Topayo, if I how I can remember, Topayo, the sports hall, then we're running there. They coming, to help me, to push me, to cheer for me, and all this. And during the training, they running together with me. And that time, I know I do the private training, with Sasha Boženko, who was national coach fitness. Is the Tihok Seng, is make everything, is just to see me on the field, and after so many times, I failed, then I finally pass, actually, this one is I have one joke, is a good story, actually, the rules is when you fail three times, your contract is terminated.
Okay.
And I fail, is more than three times, and my godfather, is like me, is and all this, is then he give me another chance, and he say, is you have, the last chance, is this one is for 7 days. You have the next bib test. If you pass. If not, is you have to go home. You say, okay, boss, but I don't think so I can pass, I mean, I preparing for 5 months, I cannot pass, what I can do for the 1 week. And that time, is a Marco, my good friend, he say, okay, I will prepare you, and you're going to pass. And he say, tomorrow we starting, is a training. Then he come to my condo. That time I was standing in the opposite Changi, opposite at the CMA East Point Green condo.
Okay.
And he came, then we doing, in the parking. And we just doing, he bring the radio, then bib test, is how working, then he put the line and he say, okay, you start. and he gave me some medicine, He say, this is the best medicine, this one going to help you, is a lot, I say, okay, Then I took this one, then I start running, then I run, and I pass.
Oh,
Then next training, but this one is only training, this one is another
not the
final
real
one,
test.
is the 4 years.
Yeah.
And after that, I took the another training, I again, I did. Then I asked him, I say, this one is a look like, it's not 20 meter, this one is a like shot, He said, no, I know, don't worry, you just do what I tell you. I say, okay. And the final day, I have to go to the, what I call the final test, the sports hall. And I asked him, I say, what about this medicine, He said, you took this medicine, again, and sure you will pass. So, okay. I took the medicine. I went, to the deep test. I ran very easy. I passed, I don't know. I forget, how supposed to, I don't know which level we're supposed to reach, And after that, we're sitting, together. Then he asked me, he said, this medicine is very good, huh? I say, yeah, it's excellent. It's amazing, He said, what is this medicine? I say, I don't know. He said, this is vitamin C. Yeah, then, and this one I want to tell you, is everything is in the head, is actually is not any kind of medicine, is which one is not good or whatever. This one is a simple vitamin C, is which one, is we every day taking, but this one is help me,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Sead, for sharing your memories
thank
with
you.
us. Just before we go, we always would like to ask our guests who would you like us to interview next?
To interview next. Okay, maybe Nazri Nasir.
Nazri Nasir is done. I've done Nazri Nasir, Rafi Ali, done. No Alam Shah also done.
Maybe
Marco done.
Sead Muratović. Okay, maybe I don't know now. Maybe Tan Kim Lee. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've not done him, so okay.
Yeah.
I would approach him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
How about Dejan
Nice.
Stankovic?
Yeah, Dejan is now they coming, they playing against Novi Pazar here is on Thursday. I'm going to meet him, is I going to watch the game, is and all this, yeah.
Okay. All right. Enjoy yourself. I wish you all the best in your career. And when you do come down to Singapore, hopefully we get a chance to meet as well.
Yeah, sure. As I hope, as I come, then I can coach, as some of the teams, as I'm ready, it's just waiting for the for the call, And thank you, it's nice to talking with you.
Yes, same
and,
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my man. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. My pleasure.
Okay.
So this is me, Ras, now signing out. Peace. Ciao. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.
Okay.